A firefighter walks into your home and sees a completely different house than you do. You see where you live, the couch you like, the kitchen that needs redoing, the stairs, the hallway, the rooms. They see time. They see where a fire will start, how it will travel, how long you would have, and which of the things you walk past every single day is the one that was quietly waiting. Because that is the thing about a house fire that nobody really understands until it is too late. It does not arrive from outside. It is already in the building. It is in the wiring, the dryer, the outlet, the pan, the strip behind the couch. It is sitting there, every day, patient, and most days nothing happens. A fire is not an event that comes to your house. It is a condition your house already has, waiting for one bad night. And that is what makes it so easy to walk past. A stranger at your door is new, and new things catch your eye. The cord behind your couch has been there for 6 years. It is not new. It is not alarming. It is part of the furniture now, and your brain filed it under normal a long time ago. That is exactly the problem. The most dangerous things in a house are dangerous precisely because they are familiar. Because familiarity is the thing that switches your attention off. And this is Ohio, which matters more than you would think because of the winters. For roughly half the year, an Ohio house is sealed shut and heated hard. Windows closed, furnace running, space heaters in the cold rooms, doors shut to keep the warmth in. Everything that makes a house cozy in a Midwest January, sealed, warm, closed up, is also the exact set of conditions a fire needs, and it all switches on at the same time every year. 10 things a firefighter sees in an Ohio home, from 10 to 1, that the owner walks past daily and never registers. This is not about anything coming for you from outside. For once on this channel, the thing is already inside, and it has been for years. Number 1 is probably running right now, in a room you are not in. Let us start. An extension cord is a temporary tool. That is its entire design. It is built to run a thing for a while and then be put away. A firefighter walks in and sees extension cords that have become furniture, run under a rug, stapled to a baseboard, powering a fridge in the garage, a heater in the bedroom, a whole entertainment wall, permanently, for years. A cord run under a rug is the specific one they hate, because it gets stepped on. The wire inside breaks down, it heats up, and the rug is sitting right on top of it, holding the heat in and providing the fuel. You would never see it start. The tell. Anything permanent needs a real outlet, not a cord. And nothing, ever, run under a rug or through a doorway where it gets crushed. If a cord has been in the same spot for a year, it is not an extension cord anymore. It is faulty wiring you can move. The fix is often just calling an electrician to add the outlet the room always needed, which is a one-time cost against a thing that is heating up under your floor every single day. Look behind your TV. Look under your desk. A firefighter sees the daisy chain immediately. A power strip plugged into a power strip, plugged into the wall, with a dozen things hanging off it, all pulling through one outlet that was built for 2. Each strip looks like it adds capacity. It does not. It just adds outlets. The wall socket behind all of it is still the same single circuit, and now it is carrying triple what it was designed for, warming up inside the wall where nobody can see it. The tell. No strip into another strip. Ever. And a space heater, or anything that makes heat, goes straight into the wall on its own, never on a strip at all, because the heavy heat appliances are what melt those strips. The rule of thumb a firefighter would give you is simple. Strips are for electronics, the low-draw things, your TV and your chargers. Anything that makes heat or spins a motor goes in the wall, alone. Everybody cleans the lint screen, almost nobody deals with the rest. A firefighter knows the dryer is one of the most reliable house fires there is, and it is not the screen. It is the duct behind the machine, the flexible hose running to the outside vent, packed with years of lint, that the screen never caught. Lint is not dust. Lint is fuel. It is basically kindling, packed into a hot tube. And in Ohio, this gets worse in winter, because the vent flap outside ices up, the air cannot escape, the moisture and lint back up into the duct, and the machine runs hotter trying to push through it. The tell. Clean the whole duct, not just the screen, at least once a year. And if a load of laundry is taking 2 cycles to dry, that is the duct telling you it is blocked, which means it is also telling you it is a fire risk. Do not ignore a dryer that suddenly needs longer. This is Ohio's signature winter hazard, and firefighters brace for it every cold snap. A space heater is fine. A space heater with 3 feet of clear air around it is fine. The problem is that the rooms people put them in are cold precisely because they are the neglected rooms, and neglected rooms are full of stuff. So the heater ends up next to the bed skirt, the curtain, the pile of laundry, the couch, the stack of boxes. 3 feet. That is the whole rule, and almost nobody keeps it. And notice the cruel timing of it. The coldest night of the year is the night the heater runs longest, in the most crowded cold room, while everyone is asleep with the doors shut. Every factor that makes a space heater dangerous peaks on the exact same night, together. That is not bad luck. That is just how an Ohio winter stacks the odds. The tell. 3 feet of nothing around any heater, on a hard floor, never on carpet or rug, plugged straight into the wall, and off when you sleep or leave the room. Every one of those is a rule people break on the coldest night, which is exactly the night the heater is running hardest. The kitchen is the most common place a fire starts, everywhere, and firefighters see the same scene constantly. Not the big dramatic grease fire. The ordinary one, a dish towel near the burner, a pan left for 2 minutes that becomes 10 because someone walked off, things stored on top of the stove because the stove is flat and the kitchen is small, grease built up on the burner and the hood over months. The tell. Nothing on the stove that is not being cooked in. A clear zone around the burners, and the real rule, the one that prevents most kitchen fires entirely, do not leave the kitchen while something is on the heat. The fire is not the danger. Walking away from the pan is the danger. If you have to leave, even for a minute, take the pan off the heat, or turn the burner off. A minute is exactly how long it takes, and the doorbell or the phone or the child in the next room is exactly what makes that minute happen. Halfway, and notice this video is different from every other one on this channel. Everywhere else, the thing to watch is out there. A lot, street, a door, a stranger. Here, every single item has been inside your own house, sitting quietly, some of it plugged in and warm right now. That is what firefighters mean when they say, a fire does not start, it waits. Every item on this list is already present in most homes. The question is never whether it is there. It is whether tonight is the night it stops waiting. And the last 5 are the ones that decide whether you would even wake up in time. Here is the one that turns a small fire into a fatal one. A firefighter can tell you the grim truth of their job. Most people who die in house fires die in their sleep, from smoke, not flame. In homes where the smoke alarm was missing, dead, or disconnected. Almost always disconnected on purpose, because it chirped at 2 a.m. once, and someone pulled the battery to make it stop, and never put it back. That single act, done out of tiredness, is the difference between waking up and not. The tell. A working alarm on every level and outside every sleeping area. Test them. And if one chirps, that chirp means the battery is low. It is doing its job. Replace the battery. Do not remove it. The chirp is not the problem. The silence you create by killing the chirp is the problem. If your alarms are the old kind that always chirp at the worst hour, the 10-year sealed battery models exist now specifically so that this never happens again, and they are worth every cent for removing the temptation entirely. This one costs nothing, it is free, and almost nobody does it, because nobody knows. Firefighters will tell you to close your bedroom door when you sleep, and it sounds like it does nothing, and it does an enormous amount. A closed door is a barrier to smoke and heat and flame. A fire in the house at night reaches a closed bedroom far slower than an open one. It buys minutes, and minutes are the entire game in a fire. A closed door can be the difference between a survivable room and one that is not. And there is a reason you were never told it, which is that it feels wrong. It feels safer to sleep with the door open so you would hear a fire, so you could get to the kids, so the house feels connected. But that open door is also the open path the fire and the smoke travel down to reach you while you sleep. The smoke alarm is what wakes you. The closed door is what keeps the room survivable long enough to act. They are a pair, and they do 2 different jobs. The tell. Sleep with the bedroom door closed. That is it. It is completely free. It takes 1 second. And it is one of the most protective things you can do in a house fire, and you have probably never been told it once. A firefighter looks at every room and asks one question. If the door is fire, how does someone get out? The answer is usually a window, and in Ohio that window is a problem in a specific way. Storm windows, painted shut sashes from an old house, and half the year an air conditioning unit bolted into the frame, or the window frozen and swollen shut in the cold. The one alternate exit, blocked by the season. And the basement bedroom, common in Ohio homes, is the hardest of all, because the only way out that is not the stairs is a small window well. The tell. Every bedroom needs 2 ways out, and the second one has to actually open. Test the windows. Make sure they are not painted or frozen shut. If there is a security bar, it must release from inside. An exit that does not open is not an exit. And this is the one place where fire safety and the rest of this channel meet, because the same window bar that keeps a person out also keeps you in. And the only safe version is the kind that opens instantly from the inside without a key or a tool. Security that traps you is not security. Down in the basement, the utility room, the closet, sit the two appliances that run all winter and get looked at never. A firefighter checks this room first, because a furnace running hard all Ohio winter, with a clogged filter, or surrounded by stored boxes and paint and paper because the utility room became the storage room, is a genuine hazard. Add a gas furnace or water heater and you have combustion happening in a room people fill with cardboard. The tell: keep a clear space around the furnace and water heater, nothing stored against them. Change the furnace filter through the winter, and get the furnace checked once before the cold season, because it is about to run for 6 months straight, and a tired furnace pushed hard for half a year is the appliance most likely to fail in the middle of it. This is also the one appliance failure that does not just risk a fire, it produces carbon monoxide, which is what brings us to number 1. And here it is. And it is the one thing on this list you genuinely cannot see, cannot smell, and will never walk past and notice, because there is nothing to notice. Carbon monoxide. Every other item on this list, a fire, a cord, a heater, gives you something. Heat, light, smoke, a smell, a sound. Your body has warnings for all of it. Carbon monoxide gives you nothing. No color, no odor, no sound. It comes from the exact appliances we just talked about. The furnace, the water heater, a blocked flue, a gas heater, and it does its worst in the exact conditions Ohio spends half the year in. A house sealed shut against the cold with the heating running all night. It is number 1 for a reason that is different from everything else on this channel. Every other threat we have ever covered, you defend against by paying attention, by looking, reading, noticing. This is the one where paying attention does nothing, because there is nothing for your attention to catch. A person could be as careful and aware as any human being alive, and it would not help them at all. Which means this is the only threat on this entire channel where the defense is not awareness. It is a device. A carbon monoxide detector is not a nice extra sitting next to your smoke alarm. It is the only sense you have for this, because you were born without one. It is a machine that does the noticing your body cannot do. The tell: a carbon monoxide detector on every level, especially near the bedrooms and near the furnace. Battery ones exist, so there is no wiring excuse. Test it. This is the one item in this video that is not about looking harder, because looking cannot find this.